Hello game designers! Today I'm going to show you how to export from Dextrous to Dustin's Designer Den, brand new online platform that we're really excited about. So let me show you how. Over here in Dustin's Designer Den, I'm going to click on my dashboard. That'll take me to kind of my project settings place, then I'll click on projects here. I'm going to create a brand new project here. So this is like a whole new game. I'll just call it test game for now and click create project. So this is essentially set me up a project that I can now get components from Dextrous for. So I'm going to click on game components here. There's lots of different things about your project, but essentially we want to pull in some cards. So game components, I'm going to scroll down to the third party sync section. And you can see here there's a little Dextrous section. We're going to click the setup button here. And we're going to paste in a special link here. So what we need to do is go over to Dextrous. And here in Dextrous, I'm going to go to my projects. I'm going to go to a project that I have open already. And I'm wanting to get these cards in that I'm making at the moment. So I'm just going to hit export and export this. So over here on the export page, I'm going to hit the export button again and click the Dustin's Designer Den button. And that will now create sprite sheets on our server. So it's like getting images of all the cards, and it's making a special JSON that is also hosted by us at Dextrous. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us a link, and this link is a one-time setup thing. So here you can see we've got this link that we need to use if we're setting up for the first time. So this is for the entire project. So I'm going to click copy to copy that link to my clipboard, and going to go back to Dustin's Designer Den. And I'm going to paste in that link and click save URL and sync. And what that's doing now is it's going to our server and it's importing all the components that I just exported then. So to see what cards just got added there, I'm just going to scroll down, and just beneath the little Dextrous section here, you can see this deck has now just been pulled in. So it's Galactic Council. I've got my 18 cards, the fronts and the backs are all set up here, and it's all been pulled into Dustin's Designer Den, which is awesome. If I ever want to make a change from this point, I can go back to Dextrous, change the cards, hit re-export. I don't need to do anything with that JSON URL. All I need to do here is hit resync. I don't need to paste in that URL anymore. Or you can actually do it from inside a game that you're playing live with friends. Let me show you how to do that. So once you've got your components good to go in DDD, you can scroll up here and launch Playtest Room. And that is essentially taking all your cards, all the things that you've set up in your project, and it's launching a space where you can actually play a game. Now you'll notice that over here on the right, we've got hotkeys, so that's super handy. There's even an action log of the different things that have happened in the game. I'm going to tuck that away for now just to give myself a little bit more room here on the table. Over here on the left, we've got components that I can add to the room. So we've got things like tokens and bags and trackers and dice and all kinds of things like that, including my custom deck of cards here. I can just click the plus deck button here, and that will be added straight to the table, and I can drag these cards around, press F to flip. So that's super useful like that. I can drag them into my hand, which is at the bottom of my screen here. Now let's say I was playtesting with friends and we discovered that this Sylvain Ringleader card was way too powerful, so that 6 needs to become a number 4 or something like that. You can actually update as you play with your friends. So back in Dextrous here, if I go back to that card, if I find that Sylvain Ringleader card, here it is, I'm going to change that 6 to a 4. So I've changed that to a 4 here, and now I'm going to go back to export. And I can just select the cards that I want to export. That will make it quicker, for example. So I'm only going to export this guy. And I'm going to click export again and export. I can actually move away from this screen if I wanted to, because remember, we don't need to do anything with that JSON link anymore. So that's actually exported already. Over here in DDD, I hit this little save and sync menu, and there's a little Dextrous button here. So you can just go ahead and click that, and that will be applied to the table. So yes, I'll apply, and that's just synced straight away. How cool is that? What's really cool about this sync is that unlike TTS and some other platforms, This is all on a card by card basis, so only the cards that I've changed will be updated, which is a huge bonus. Now, as for learning how to use this app, there's a fair bit going on here. I'd recommend just tucking away these menus once you've got your components onto the table, for example. One really cool thing that I appreciate is these hotkeys here are contextual, and what that means is that if I click on a deck, I'm going to get the hotkeys that are actually relevant for interacting with a deck. Whereas if I click on something else, like a dice or a token, I'll get hotkeys that are relevant to that. So that's super useful. Another really cool thing you can do is you can actually draw on cards. So again, let's say we found this card here, it needed updating. You can hit this little draw icon and then hit drawing. Let's say draw on table or component deck. I've got this different colors selected down here. So maybe I wrote this was meant to be a little yellow icon instead. So I'm just going to actually do that on the card like that and then click stop there. And now that card is done. And if I want to, I can right click the card and I can actually save that change. So I can click save state to component and update all. And now if I started a new game with friends, that would also be yellow. So that's another really quick way you can make some changes before a bigger update. You can make some changes on the fly. Then you can go back and do, Dextrous updates in one bigger batch if you wanted to, for example. So that is super cool. How do you add someone else to this game? Well, all you have to do is click this room code up here. It's actually just the same as this URL, by the way. So you can just literally copy this URL or click this code and then send that to a friend and they can join your room. I can show you that right now. I'm going to open a new incognito window here. I'm going to paste that straight in and I can show you these side by side. So I'll join the game and you can see here the mouse of the other player here playing along so they can move cards around and all that kind of thing. So yeah, super cool new platform. We're really excited about it. And if you want to get into the nuts and bolts of how it works, you can click this little question mark icon up here. That will show you the basic controls. Or you can actually go and click this full wiki button down here, and that will take you to the full wiki where you can learn even more. Again, if you want to, you can join the Dustin's Designer Den Discord, which I'd highly recommend doing. It's right down the bottom here, and you can come hang out in the Discord there. We found Dustin to be super responsive and awesome to work with, and yeah, really excited for this platform, guys. So that's the basics, and dive right in and let me know what you think.